Jeopardy welcomed one of its most controversial candidates of all time.
Sigh of Relief, 2000. 31 Days of Oscar, 2000. Canadian Body, 16. National Park, 4. 31 Days, 400. Plants and Trees, 8. Sigh of Relief, 8.
That's it.
That's it. Not only does Arthur Chu erratically jump all over the board, hunting for daily doubles, he also engages his critics on Twitter. And you know his strategy works because he has walked home with more than $100,000. And joining us right now, this week's Jeopardy champion, Arthur Chu, joining us from Cleveland. Good morning to you, Arthur.
Good morning. Hi.
I just Googled you, and 10,100 results came up for your name and Jeopardy. They call you controversial. Why?
You know, it's kind of funny because every couple of years, it's not a new strategy. I mean, the first person to play like I play was Chuck Forrest, who was the champion back in 1985 when I was 1 year old. And he just came back for the reunion tournament this week and won again using that strategy. So I think it's really that we live in the Twitter age and that I was live tweeting my episodes as they aired, and my wife kind of goaded me into responding to the insulting tweets on Twitter when she saw how many of them there were. And so it's turned into a conversation. Well, I'm not complaining, but
you
funny.
Actually tweet while you're playing, correct?
No, not while I'm playing.
They
would never allow that.
While it's airing, I should say.
It's taped, yeah.
Right.
So I'm tweeting from my couch at home.
All right, so could you tell me the strategy? Give us an idea of the strategy that gets everyone so aggravated. First off, you buzz in when?
Well, I buzz in when Alex stops talking. That's when you're allowed to buzz in. But I think the thing is the way I hold the buzzer, I didn't realize this till it aired, is that you can see me sort of clicking the button rapidly, which is what they tell you to do. Right. Because if you buzz in even a little bit early, it locks you out for half a second. Okay. And what they tell you is the strategy is when you buzz in to hit the button several times so that if you buzzed in early, you'll buzz in again as soon as the lockout expires, you know, instead of just giving up. So that's one thing.
And also you jump around, you go for the big money things all over the board. If it's something on sports, you'll bet $5 because that's not your department. Is it true that before you went on, you actually Googled Jeopardy strategies and came up with this?
Yeah, I just put together, the show's 30 years old. There's actually a community of people called the J Board online, a bunch of former Jeopardy contestants and big Jeopardy fans who just talk about this kind of thing. And it's been covered in the media, like when Watson, the computer, was playing. Obviously, I can't know everything Watson knows, but they talked about the strategies that the programmers put into Watson, and a lot of those are pretty easy to do, like the jumping around. Chuck Forrest did that in 1985. It's called the Forrest Bounce. So,
look at that. Sorry, not in the form of a question.
Is it true that Alex gets kind of ticked off of this because he's got to go find his cards because you're going from category to category?
He might have been irritated. It's hard to tell with Alex. He's a real game show pro, so he could totally hate me, and I don't think I know. He's got a very, very good professional poker face. He was never anything less than totally nice to me. So.
Sure, he's a great showman indeed. So Arthur, you didn't break the rules. You just figured a way to play that's bugged a lot of people online. As I said, people call you controversial. What's your message to your critics?
I've said this before, like, we're playing for money out there. So they didn't tell me to make people on Twitter happy. They told me to win the game. And I don't get paid for making people on Twitter happy. I get paid for winning the game. If you don't want people to take the game seriously and play to win, then you shouldn't offer a big cash prize. That comes down to that. I got to think about me and my family first.
Exactly. So. And you're going to be back when? And when can we see you again? When do you start taping other shows?
It's already in the can. It's been taped, but my next show comes on after, I believe it's the 1980s reunion tournament and then the college championship. So I'll be back on February 24th.
Very good. And because it's already been taped, you can tell us, do you win?
I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you.
All right. Arthur Chu joining us today from Cleveland, Mr. Jeopardy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so what, folks watching right now, what do you think about his particular strategy? Is it fine or over the line? Are the critics right, or are they just crybabies? Email us, friends@foxnews.com, with your feelings about Arthur.
Right, because he'll ring in sometimes, he won't have the answer. And he'll be there first. Meanwhile, coming up.